thoughts on the use of body cameras for law enforcement officers after the recent controversies around the country?
And with this time, it begins with Mr. Billions.
There are things that look like they're a very, very good idea, and certainly holding law enforcement officers accountable is important. We need to do that. But body cameras present some other issues, of course, that do cause some concerns for the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. First of all, body cameras really only get one angle and one view of a situation, so it's not like a human eye where you can see all the things that are around you, so you're getting limited perspective on what the camera's looking at. That limited perspective is the thing you can bring into court. Now, of course, in court, we want to prove cases by the evidence. That means we have testimony, we have witnesses, and other things that we want to use to prove a case. With body cameras, it's going to be trial by video. And we don't want to get in a situation where we are relying only on that video to prove our case. And if there's a lack of video, well, we can't make our case happen any longer. The other issue, of course, with body cameras is we've got to store that material. And there is, you're talking about hours and hours and hours and gigabytes of material that you'll be storing over a period of time, so we have to have a system to be able to deal with that. Body cameras are an issue that need to be looked at. They're not something you can just say, let's put it on everybody because it's a solution to a problem. The real solution to problems is good relationships between law enforcement and the community, so you don't get into a situation where you have to rely on a body camera to see, was an officer honest, was he shooting someone that wasn't armed? Those sorts of things are eliminated when you have positive relationships like we have here.
Mr. Elway.
My experience with this kind of footage, at this point I haven't been involved in a case with body camera footage, but certainly been involved in cases with dash camera footage. And my experience has almost invariably been that when there is that footage and it's looked at by the defendant in a case and the prosecution, it tends to clarify the case and oftentimes for the defendant. And I've seen this in not the most serious of cases, but serious drunk driving cases where people say that their performance, say on a field sobriety test, they thought was perfect. And they stop and they look at the tape from the dash cam and they realize I was impaired. I shouldn't have been driving. And I think that underscores how helpful this kind of evidence can be. Not just in terms of securing convictions, but in terms of really getting justice between the defendant and the state. I agree that there are going to be some logistical issues, and there are going to have to be some guidelines. When should those cameras go on? When do they go off? How long should that footage be stored for? How should it be accessible to the public and to journalists? But I'm confident that those are questions that can be answered. There are no intractable problems that I can see for the use of body cameras. And so when we get past those questions and when we have the resources to make those happen, I think they're going to be very helpful, and I'd like to see them in place.